Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Greetings everybody, guys. Let's take a look again on the gold market. So on today's report, we suggest should be interesting to you, just because in this report on the gold market we are considering some macroeconomic factors without any sophisticated moments that we usually considering in the forex market, such as some liquidity programs, ruling by the Fed, how liquidity is changing, how it could impact on the policy. So sometimes it sounds a bit sophisticated to understand, but it is important, and that's why we provide this information, just because you should be knowing what really is going on, and that should let you to understand the processes when you see something in the news and react correctly on these moments. On the gold market, today we have considered macroeconomic factors, some recent events that have happened that makes impact on in general the financial system of the world, and second, some political issues that we see as extremely important. We do not like to consider any political issues, mostly just because they, last time, it has really big relation to different wars across the globe, and we try to stand aside of it. But the recent events that have happened, first of all, you will not find in news streams and information about this. You could see some only echo events of the things that we have described, just because, well, actually this is not quite public information, but you see that only something has appeared, has turned public, and that confirms that things that we have described in this report is really right now is going on. Second, this will have strong impact on the markets, at least in the gold markets definitely will be strong impact, and that just we need to explain this to justify our conclusions, so that we are still looking on the gold appreciation and think that in the nearest few months it should rise more. So we still keep our strategy of accumulating physical gold. Just as an example, for example, today in the Telegram we have put the recent statement of the Joseph Barrel, who accused Israel with the financing of the Hamas. As you understand, such a big person as a Barrel, he will not speak from the gut feeling. He's announcing and providing information that is has to be made public by its elites for whom he is working on. And this is not new information, but it has turned public in this moment. And why this has happened, we explain in the report. So because really very big events right now stands, as in around the Ukraine, as around the Middle East, and all of them will have the significant impact. So whether we would like it or not, but it's some part of the political events we have to consider it. So I use just minimum necessary for analysis of the financial markets, but there is some requirements, necessary minimum level that we will have to consider. So that's why we publish some political events in the Telegram and in particular reports sometimes. So, but personally for me, when I have read this for the first time and found this information, it appears to be very interesting. So, and when I saw the recent statement of the Barrel, I understand that this really is happening right now. So just read it. If you're interested, we could discuss this in the forum as usual. So speaking about short-term technical picture, on the gold market right now, we have to understand only one important thing that we've got last week. If you take a look at the weekly chart, we actually were prepared for that. It's just because we talked about this in the previous week analysis. But in this week, we've got the real confirmation. So if you take a look at the weekly chart of the gold, you could see that we've got weekly grabber which is perfectly agrees with the fundamental view on the market, suggesting taking out of this top. So market has to jump about to 21 area, 2100. So that's that we need to know until market stands above the lows, which is approximately 2K. Market keeps bullish context on the weekly chart, and it means that here we could consider taking the long position based on this pattern. But at the same time, we have some tricky moments on the lower time frames. So for example, on the daily, maybe we do not have a lot of things. Trend remains bearish, but we have to consider this trend from the different angle right now. It's just in the light of the bullish grabber on the weekly chart. So that might be the retracement that should be faded against the bullish grabber that we got recently. The only pattern that hints on a possible upward action here is harmonic swings. So you consider the market completed the harmonic retracement to the downside. But this is not actually the so-called the triggering pattern. Still, we have the bearish trend, and we do not have any clear bullish pattern by far on the daily chart. On the 4-hour time frame chart, appearing of the weekly grabber put the shadow on the perspective of this ABCD pattern, as you understand. Yes, performance that we have planned to get on a Friday has happened. So we said let's consider taking short position around the confluence because this rather strong level. It should be relatively safe trying to take the short. Indeed, you could see that market has tested 2040, has shown this minor downside action, and in fact, if you remember, we discussed the kind of the momentum trade, so-called bread and butter or something of that sort. It's not perfect bread and butter. Anyway, it's kind of the momentum trade to the downside, suggesting that in the perfect scenario, it should reach 618 support at least of this most recent action. But currently, appearing of the grabber turns to confrontation with the OP target around 9086. It means that this target could not be reached if market will start upward action right from here, based on the weekly grabber. As you understand, the weekly grabber is a more powerful tool than for our time frame ABCD pattern. Speaking about Gartner's 222, in fact, we already have 222. It's just because this low stands below this one, and who said that this is not the 222 actually. This is also 222. So how to recognize that the bearish context is over, bearish scenario is over? We need to see what will happen on the hourly chart and how far the drop from this resistance area will go. In fact, if we suggest that market is bearish, the strength of this level and overall performance here tells that normally market should just keep going lower from this level because CDLX shows downside acceleration, which is great for the bearish pattern. Retracement stands to the confluence, which is all very strong, and combination of these two factors suggests that market just should keep going lower. If this will not happen, it means that market is not bearish anymore and that the weekly grabber starts working. Particularly speaking, we intend to take a look at the hourly charts, take a look what's happening here. That's our XOP that we discussed. So also has created the agreement with this confluence. So downside action starts nice, and by this pattern, theoretically, market should try to reach at least 2016 area. This is in a perfect case. So let's suggest that it will be reached, and next will be most interesting thing. If market, instead of just keep going lower below this level, suddenly stop and start returning back up, showing reversal in opposite direction, that will be the early bell that bearish context is ready to fail, or not to fail, but to be finished, and that weekly grabber could start working. I'm not even talking about if market will start upward action immediately and taking out of this top. So this is the minimum targets that usually theoretically should be reached when we're dealing with the momentum trades and the bread and butter trades. If market will later break it down and keep going lower, it means that it's okay. 1986 we're still watching for, and it's everything is okay with the bearish scenario. But somehow something tells me that it's really big chances that next week we could get not quite bearish performance. So be aware of that, be prepared. Hopefully you may be already because place stops to break even with this trade, but if not, we'll try to do this as soon as possible in the next week. That's precisely the scenario that we intend to keep an eye on next week.